welcome to another one of my videos where I'll be taking this corgi Ford Escort 55 van from shabby to hopefully looking better. The first job I did on it was to repair suspension etc, so the wheels sat right. Epoxied the wheels back in and the bodywork was sanded and wire brushed. And the basic plan with this van is quite an advanced stage of the build now, but the plan is to take it to my old van I used to use when I worked as a dog warden for the local council. So I'll be pretty much making it as is, including missing front bumper, rust etc. And I've bought an extra car for spares because I did the stupid thing and stood on the screen, as you can see, the crack in it. So I've got another van to take apart for the screen, and it's had the black wheels as it had no hubcaps or anything on it, and the rear doors are separate and opening, and I've made my own decals for it, so there's still quite a bit of work to be done on it as yet, even though it's in such an advanced state of build. And here we have the donor vehicle. It's a shame to take it apart really, but it's because it's in quite nice condition, but I think there's parts missing off the roof and things, because there is the holes there for it. There, as you can see, is the crack in the screen, and here we can see the front rivet being centre punched. Give it 2 punches to give it a nice depth, flicked round, and then I punched the rear rivet twice to give it a bit of depth. Didn't really have to because the back's broken off, but just done it for reasons of the video. And here I am drilling the rivet out of the rear end of the van. Just giving it, I think it's about 4mm drill. Just enough to cover the rivet and open it. And here I am drilling out the front rivet and the van. And nice and easy does it. And there we go. And the reason I've drilled it out is to get hold of the windscreen unit because of the crack in the one I already have, and also because I want some rear bumpers. So this van has some rear bumpers on. It's a different casting though, so I think I'll have to cut and shape them, then glue them on. And here I've drilled off the rear bumpers and I'm trying them for size. They'll fit, but I think I'm going to have to cut a good percentage of it off for them to fit well. And next up we have the bumpers in place, as I'm going to show them. There, they'll need painting black, but I'm sure I'll make them fit one way or another. And next up, the screen unit in situ. Looks far better now I've got one without a crack, and should clean up nice when I buff it. And here I am, the T-cut spread on, and I start merrily buffing away to remove scratches etc, to give it a nice polished look. just spread the tea cut around and buff merrily away. And here we have the screen after buffing with a lovely deep shine, and then we started to paint the windscreen wipers on and also the rear view mirror. Here's the finished article, looking nice now. And next we started mixing some weathering powders. I've started with some Cars weathering powder, which is a model railway product really, and I also have some Humbrol weathering powders in 2 different colours, and I'm going to use some Humbrol matte clear to apply them with, tipping out the Humbrol lighter coloured rusty colour and the mid coloured rust. And why I use powder, this technique, and with Humbrol matte coat, it not only gives you the colour, it also gives you the texture of the rust as well, with it being a powder. And dabbing on, it gives you the texture as well as the colour. I start by applying the base coat of a dark colour, the dark rust colours. I'm actually doing it quite large here for demo. Really, on the real car I'll be doing quite a bit smaller to represent stone chips. But then you move from the dark colour and you start putting like the mid colours on, and then build it out to your lighter colour on top. Here I'm doing the similar on the side, except I've got to the lighter colours at this point and dabbing them on over the darker colours, so you have the lighter top areas of rust. And where I apply them, I work on the theory of less is more, and I apply them on the areas that would naturally get damaged paintwork to start to rust, such as wheel arches getting chipped, front valance getting chipped, the sills underneath and near doors getting chipped. All the heavy wear areas and where they're going to get things hitting it to do enough damage to the paint to take the top off. And here I'm just applying a area of Tamiya acrylic clear in the areas where I'm going to be laying down the decals. For the sign writing, I've made my own decals for going on because it's an individual van that I was issued from my company, so it was unique on its own to that van sign writing, so no option but to make my own. And here we have, it's a colour called Surfing Sepia from Citadel, and I use it for rust staining. When you get rust marks seep into paintwork and mark the paintwork with a rusty colour, you can use it in varying ways. You can wash it water it down for quite a faint colour, or you can put it on dark and drag it down, and there's various ways you can use it as a wash to give rust staining effects. Here I'm using it round the sides, underneath a window. That window on my van was stolen, believe it or not smashed. Somebody stole it for their van, as those were probably smashed in a break-in. And so the window, I've actually painted the plastic a grey colour because they replaced it with an opaque piece of plastic, so it's like a non-see-through grey, and there's rust marks coming down from that and from the petrol filler cap. I'm pretty sure it was petrol. I know I had a petrol one and a diesel. I think the cream coloured one was the petrol. I remember it having a green cap anyway, so that would signify it was unleaded fuel. It's back in 1990 now, so my memory's a bit vague on finer details, but I'm pretty sure it was petrol. And also doing where there'd be key damage, because it's regularly used works vehicle. You get damage on the door from keys, and round edges like the guttering. Some on the rear gutters coming down as well, because you can't understate how shabby that van was. Anyway, here we see the decals laid out. I've cut them out because you print your own on sheet, you have to cut them close to the edge of your subject, because it's not like aircraft decals you buy and they're just done to the shape. They're actually done on a full sheet of film, so you have to cut close to your subject, or you'd have a full sheet of film come off with on a clear film. Here we're starting to apply the decals, and they've been dampened, and I've actually coated before I started putting it on the back with, you actually put the blue bottle in the picture is micro set. You paint that onto the surface first before you start applying the decal, and then the red bottle is microsol, and you paint that on over the top, and it softens the decal and makes it set to the shapes on the area you're decaling, such as if there's any door gaps it's going over, or panel lines or anything like that. It makes them sit and conform so they look like they're properly painted on, like most markings are, or vinyl over the top, but it hugs into all the like crevices and everything. Here I'm dabbing off the excess water, and that's the front one more or less on now. Just smooth it out and leave it set to conform to it. And here I'm starting to put on one of the side decals, and as you can see, me flappy hands, I'll be alright with a flappy paddle gear change, I think. I'll be through the gears like a flash. Anyway, just putting on some of the microsol, or it may have just been water, that, so I can move it a bit easier with the scissors. And then once I've got happy with where the decal is, put the microsol on for it to set, and bed down the decal. And here I've painted the body in plastic oak clear. I'll go over the rusty areas with Umbro matte clear, later on once I've finished what I'm doing. And also I've also coated the rear doors in the plastic oak clear spray, as can be seen here, because I put the decals up at the top of the door, so they're sorted out. And here I'm making on a small piece of folded paper what every driver used to have in the days before sat-nav. Well, local UK drivers, they all had an A to Z of the area they were going to, or the area they were working in. Mine was always on my dashboard because I were always getting, at that time in 1990 I didn't have a mobile phone, we had pagers, so they used to page me, and then I had to get to a local telephone and phone in, and I used to get me expenses back for the phone call. But it's just another added detail for the van what would have been in it. I've put a bit of blue tack on my cutting mat so it keeps it firm for painting, and just adding the A to Z were red, white and blue books, the cover. And here I'm just beginning to drill the pillar out to tap it, and as it goes, the front one just didn't want to play ball, so I end up gluing it with super glue and zip kicker, and drilled and tapped the rear one. Here I'm tapping the rear post to accept the screw, which the rear one worked well. Front one, as I've just said, not so. But here we are. I've obviously oiled it, as Rob says. Lubricate your piece. And here I'm fitting the doors before I take the base, before I put the base back on, I should say. Just fitting them both on, and they look the part there back on now. And as you'll see later on, after using the glue for putting the bumpers on, I had a bit of an accident where it splashed the rear quarter with super glue and trying to get it off. It stripped some of the paint, so it's not exactly as the van was, but it's as it could be. And I've painted a red oxide rear panel on it. But here we are, just putting the super glue on. And just getting my trusty zip kicker that helps it cure fast while we're holding it. That's it, as soon as it hits it, it pretty much cures. And here I'm going to show you an old trick not many have used, for if you have certainly flat windows that are missing, you can actually use the Umbro clear fix. You dab it on the end of your paintbrush and use a swishing motion. And I did that off camera, but there you are. A clear rear window in it. And now do the other side to match it. As I say, you just put it in, quick swirl round and pull it out as it starts to connect up. And there we are, we've got two rear windows in the van. The product, as I said, is Umbro Clear Fix. And here we have the final reveal. And as I said, you can see the rear quarter there. But it did actually get hit in that rear quarter by a car while it was parked one dinner time. So it's highly likely it may have had work in its time. But as we can see, I've fitted the rear bumpers and the decals were made by myself, and mostly, apart from that rear quarter, it's just enough weathering without going overboard to look realistic, and it's pretty much more or less 101% as my van was. You can see that rear quarter light in grey where the rear window was stolen, so it got a grey plastic panel installed, and the rust seeping down. It's actually a very good representation of how many of these old Ford Escorts ended up. It was a pretty rough van, rough and ready, and they had a hard working life. But yeah, it's been an enjoyable build, and one I'd enjoy to do again. To do another rough works van. But for now I think this one's enough. So, all that remains to say is thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. And if you've enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. And even better, if you'd press the bell so you get notifications. Bye for now.